does it for me. Strip away, sweet, the varnish of sleep. Minting, imprinting this part of me. Breakfast with you, here you go. Truth, utter nonsense, do it with me. With Ted, tongue signal, splendor of sleep. Vocalize, still I cry. This part of me I know. This you know, this I know. Does it for me. Fire infused with color, with dream. Blazing, reglazing this part of me. Breakfast with you, here you go. It for me, service supreme, me suffering, sleep, feeding indeed I am this part of me. I know, this I know, this I know. Breakfast with you. Yes, thank you. Does it for me, sugarcane, rain, spice up the dream, addicting, uplifting this part of me. Spearmint, here you go. Sunrise, here you go. Nonsense, here we go. Thank you, here I go. One choice thing about love I come to relate. Well, all I can do is all I can do. It's all that I call. Just as I am. It's 4 words. Just as I am. Take me now, baby. Here as I am.
Yep. Yep. That's what any of us want.
That's all we want.
That's all we want.
That is. Now Exspirientuality, the way of unity. Conversations with Dog, Book 1. This book and the CD, It's Time That Time Was Overthrown, are dedicated to community venue audiences and the opportunity they present for our society. It is our intent that this book raises awareness of the opportunity. It is our hope that more musicians will look again, begin to live their lyrics, and share their absolute gifts of time and talent with community venue audiences.
Yeah, it's not about demographic and it's not about genre. It's about reaching out to people. It's about reaching out to people, to someone just like you. Might not look like you, might not be your age, but it's somebody who is just like you.
This book and the CD, It's Time That Time Was Overthrown, are also dedicated to staff at community venues that have supported song sharing by treating performances as performances. We appreciate the respect you show for the fellow beings in your care and your recognition of the opportunity that they afford us. We also love it when you dance and sing and clap along. This book and the CD, It's Time That Time Was Overthrown, are dedicated to inspired musicians. They are also dedicated to aspiring musicians. May you find that it is inspiration. Preface. Sometimes it seems as though this here now is the problem for utopia singing, aspiring folk stars. The logic is something like, clearly this here now is a problem because look at them over there. This world is a mess, for they should not have to, or choose to, be like that. No one should have to, or choose to, be like that. Let me write a song to lament this here now, and another to sing about how great things will be in my dream of that there then, where and when no one has to or chooses to be like them. I've been asking musicians in my town to go beyond traditional acoustic venues and share their music in community venues for the better part of the last decade. Outside of a small group of folks that have proven to be persistently supportive, the overwhelming response has been some variant of, I don't have time. Not an hour in over a decade. This response was the inspiration for the CD, It's Time That Time Was Overthrown. I'm convinced these musicians believe that time hangs on a wall and orders them and their life about. And I am sometimes certain that a big part of the reason musicians will not come is that they believe that community venue audiences fall in the musical special needs category and are thus somehow less than the best. They are somehow of diminished music business value. It's as though musicians imagine there is an album for amputees or a Songs for Seniors CD that they must cover, as though they must follow and learn songs from the developmentally disabled top 40 in order for a community venue audience to get it. It's as though music is a universal language except that they would not get my music. It's as though the idea of transcendence does not apply to the perceived special musical needs of a community venue audience. Sometimes I even imagine that utopian singing musicians dream of a world where equality means that no one has to be like the people in community venue audiences. Sometimes it seems to me that our culture thinks that in a perfect world, people won't have to be this way. People won't have to, quote, suffer in this way. So what do you think of that? Do you have any thoughts on that kind of?
I don't know. You know, it's been 15 years since we started with Christian, and I don't understand that form of mentality anymore. So I don't know how to answer that.
In their dream world, there will be no old people or disabled people or sick or suffering people or whatever they imagine these fellow beings to be being. When the world is free of people like them, these musicians might truly be able to sing freely and celebrate the joy of being freely and openly, without thought of monetary worth, without fear that someone won't get it or buy it. In the meantime, though, let's keep the other-based blues alive. It is a tough world because, well, look at them. That sucks to be like them. My vision is of a world free of being like them. And off they go to sing about them or do a benefit for them, but never anything with them. It's no fun to hang out with people you don't want to be like, I suppose. I noticed too that it seems the further away they are in space and time, the more appeal there is to doing something about or for them. Many musicians that did not have an hour in a decade for a community venue audience had plenty of time to help stage shows that benefited Katrina victims half a country away, or tsunami victims, or Darfur refugees half a world away. But disabled fellow beings right here, seniors in my own community, my neighbors, grab a cup of coffee and my guitar and go play for an hour and make some new friends and fans outside of my demographic? Huh? Be the change I sing of seeing in my world? Huh?
Several artists here are part of the outreach program that go to Bridges. And myself, I work with the autistic classes at the schools. And there are many teachers that go to everywhere in Orange and do the outreach for those that can't come to us. And it is from physical handicap to mental handicap to whatever it is, and all ages. So their visual arts are reaching out in Orange to everyone that we can.
What's in it for you? You know what I mean? Because again, the traditional mindset is, oh, that's so nice, you know, those poor folks, and it's so nice that you go do that for them. And for me, anyway, to speak for myself, I don't feel that way.
Oh, no.
I feel like an artist who is doing what I do with an audience.
What's in it for a visual artist, at least this is what other art teachers and myself have discussed, is it's mind opening, because these people haven't been told you can't do it that way, or haven't been directed that it has to go a certain way. And they see things in a much brighter, larger way than we do. So every time that we work with people that are different than we are, as they say, it teaches us and it enlightens us and it opens our minds up in ways that we haven't seen. We can look at the exact same thing and see something so totally different.
Yeah.
So it is the most exciting part of teaching art that any of us have experienced, because it teaches us how to look at things differently, which is amazing.